Hello friends, welcome back to the subject automobile engineering, unit number 2, axles, wheels, tires and steering system. So in today's video we will go through the rear axle. So what is the rear axle? Types of rear axle, in which we will discuss semi floating, full floating and 3/4 floating axle. Now what is a rear axle? So in this diagram you can clearly see the rear axle. This is the differential, this is the hub of the rear axle. Now this is a type of a live rear axle. Live rear axle means this wheels will be rotating, transmission. So the axle is a rotating axle. So let us see in details. So in between differential and driving wheels is the rear axle to transmit power from differential to the driving wheel. So again you have, this is the casing, and in that you have the driving axles to transmit power. It is clear from the construction of the differential that the rear axle is not a single piece but is made up of two halves connected by the differential, one part to the, so each single part is known as the half shaft. The inner end of the half shaft is connected to the sun gear of the differential and outer end of the driving wheel. In rear wheel drive vehicles, the rear wheels are the driving wheels. So one part is connected to the sun gear and other part is connected to the hub, what we can say. Dead axles of vehicles simply maintain stationary, do not move the wheel. So if the axle, rear axle is a dead axle, the axles are not rotating, what we also call it as the dead axle. Now let us see the types of the rear axles. So first type is the semi floating axle. So in semi floating axle you can go through the construction properly. Now you can see this is the wheel hub, this is the lock nut, okay. So this is the casing. So casing is a casted component, it does not rotate, but this axle shaft, so one end of this half shaft, this is also called as the half shaft, is connected to this hub and other part is connected to the sun gear in this direction. And so to support this, in between you have this bearing, okay. So let us see it in details. You can see again in the same, this diagram also it is clearly shown. This is the hub, this is the axle casing, okay. So this is a taper roller bearing and this is the axle shaft, or which we also call it as the half shaft. So a semi floating axle has a bearing located on the axle inside the axle casing. It needs to be of large size, so the same torque output than any other type, and the inner end of the axle is supported by the differential side of the gear. It is thus relieved of the job of carrying the weight of the car by the axle housing. Now please make clear that the weight of the vehicle is being carried by the casing, and the function of this shaft is to rotate the wheel. The outer end has to support the weight of the car and take end the thrust, again the driving thrust, and the inner end of the axle is spindled to the differential side of the gear. The outer end of the flange is so that the wheel can be bolted directly to it, and the vehicle load is transmitted to the axle through the casing and bearing, which causes the bending or shearing of the axle. So this inner shaft, that is, this is the axle shaft, just has to rotate, it has to transmit the power. So semi floating axle is the simplest and the cheapest of all types of the axles and widely used. So again, why it is called as semi floating? Because one end is fixed and other end it is directly connected to the wheel. The next type is the full floating axle. Now in this full floating axle, you can see this is the wheel hub, okay, this is the axle shaft, which is again one end is connected to the differential and other end is connected to this wheel hub, and you have this casing, okay, and there are two bearings, you can see one bearing and two bearings, two roller bearings, and this is the flange at the end. Again the same diagram is shown here. Two bearings, two taper bearings are here, you can see two taper bearings. This is the axle shaft, this is the hub to which the wheels are bolted, and this is the axle casing. A full floating axle has two deep groove balls or taper roller bearings located between the axle casing and wheel hub. The outer of an axle is made flanged to which the wheel hub is being bolted. Again, the axle is not supported by bearing at either end, and its position is maintained by the way that it is supported at both the ends. Now see, this is supported at both the ends, you can see here, okay. Thus the axle is relieved from the stresses, thus the axle is relieved by all strains caused by the weight of the vehicle and the end thrust, and it transmits only the driving torque. So again, why it is called as fully floating? Because see, this is supported by two taper bearings. So the inner shaft, the axle shaft, only has the function to drive the driving torque which you get from the engine via the differential. The axle may be removed from the housing without disturbing the wheel by removing the nuts. When you just remove the nuts, you can remove the axle. This type of axle is more expensive and heavier than other types of axles and usually fitted in heavy commercial vehicles. So generally in all trucks, buses, heavy vehicles, such type of full floating axle is implemented. Now next axle is the 3/4 floating axle. This type of axle has a bearing placed between the hub and the axle casing. Thus the weight of the vehicle is transmitted to the axle casing and only the side thrust and driving torque are taken by the axle. Okay, so one side it is having a lock nut and other side it is having a taper bearing. So actually there are two taper bearings which support the axle, and other side it is locked by the lock nut. The axle is keyed slightly to the hub, thus providing the driving connection and maintaining the alignment of the wheel. The inner end of this axle has the same construction as that of the semi-floating axle. Again, the construction is quite similar. If you see the semi-floating axle, the construction is quite similar, but you can see the main difference is the inner side of this axle has this the driving connection between this hub. You can see this hub, the casing, the taper bearing are locked by this lock nut from the other end. Although the 3/4 floating axle is more reliable, it is not a simple, so it is not, as the construction is a little complex as compared to the semi floating axle. Thank you friends, thank you very much.